Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kristi. I'm an Ivy League educated PA, and my entire purpose on here is to help you understand why and how manifesting using the law of assumption is simply utilizing and manipulating your brain's natural functions to your benefit. There is nothing complex or complicated about manifesting. There is nothing spiritual about it. You are not waiting on the universe to grant you anything. Manifesting is very simple and it's often overcomplicated. We are here to take the woo-woo out of manifesting. Today, I want to discuss with you 3D action and whether or not that is necessary to take in order to get the manifestations you want. I just finished filming 2 videos, both utilizing my manifesting journal. I filmed a recap of my first quarter resolutions for 2025, and then I filmed me writing out my second quarter resolutions for 2025. And the way that I did this was I envisioned who I want to be, and then I wrote out systems. So not goals, but systems, daily behaviors that are embodying the person I would rather be that will allow me to manifest these aspects of my life. And so I want to talk a little bit about, do you need 3D action in order to manifest? My opinion on this is going to be informed by neuroscience and my understanding of the brain. And my answer is yes and no. Let me explain. Changing aspects of ourself is most easy when we approach the change from an identity change. Who you are, who you believe that you are, impacts everything that goes on in your brain via the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is a part of our brainstem. It's part of our subconscious brain that acts as a filter. There is untold number of sensory information in your 3D reality. It's far too much for your brain to observe and process. So you have a reticular activating system that allows you to be consciously awake and also allows all of that sensory information that's possible to come at you through a filter so that it doesn't overwhelm your system. So you can think of it like being a bouncer at a club. All of the people in line want to get into your brain, which is the club, and the bouncer will turn people away or let people in according to your belief system. Who you believe you are is the foundation of everything, how you get to interact with the world and how the world functions and exists. That is the foundation for everything. So when you want to change an aspect of your life, I believe that it is most effective to go at the identity of the person first. And in order to change your identity, in many cases, there is going to be a downstream behavioral change. For example, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a manifestation coach. I want to be a course creator. All of those things imply that there are actions that I am taking on a daily basis that allow me to be that. So if I want to be a YouTuber, but I never get on camera and publish videos, it's going to be difficult to become a YouTuber. There is an embodiment aspect of that identity that is required in order for the success of the manifestation to happen. Now, when you affirm for an identity instead of affirming for an outcome, then the behaviors and embodiment of that identity are going to be much, much easier to accomplish than if you simply affirm for the outcome. But you start with the identity, and then if you know already what you need, quote unquote, need to do in order to embody that identity. For example, I don't know the first thing about being successful on YouTube, but I do know how to sit in front of a camera and talk. And so the learning aspect happens with the actions that embody the identity that I want. I want to be a YouTuber. I get in front of a camera and talk. I do my very best. I continue to learn and receive feedback about that. And hence, I become a YouTuber. So in many cases, yes, embodiment involves 3D action. Now let's use another example where I don't believe 3D action is necessary. Say you want to manifest something or some experience in your reality. I will use my experience manifesting Eras Tour tickets to see Taylor Swift. Went to see Eras Tour in the movie theater with a friend, and I had such a great time that I was like, man, it would be so incredible to see that live, to be a part of that incredible experience that will go down in history for all of the records that it broke. I would love to be there live. How cool would that be? That was around December of 2023. Every time I thought about seeing Taylor Swift in the Eras Tour, I thought about how cool it would be. I didn't necessarily envision myself there. It wasn't something that I was serious about manifesting because my knowledge of the Eras Tour is that it was incredibly expensive to get to, and that the tickets were really hard to get. Like that was just what I had been passively absorbing through social media. However, by early April, I had an experience where Eras Tour tickets in Milan were offered to me by a close friend. And he basically said, like, I'm going with this group. I don't care anything about this, but I'll go, I'll go to be with the group. But I would much rather you go because I know you love Taylor Swift and I think you would just have a much better time there than I would have. So I would love it if you would take my ticket. So I bought the ticket from him for $110. I bought a ticket to Milan. Overall, I think my entire cost for that trip, spent a week in Milan with this group of friends. I think all in all, my cost for that trip was about $1,500, maybe $2,000. I don't remember exactly, but it was about the cost of what I thought one ticket to a show in the States would be. I ended up getting the ticket for $110. Did I have to do anything in my 3D for that to come to me? No, I did not. I had the desire. It was moderately important to me. Who knows, that may have come in faster if it was more important to me, because that's how your reticular activating system works. It will allow you to see things that are important to you in your reality, the opportunities. Like you want a new car, you'll see that car everywhere, that kind of thing. I didn't have to do anything for that. There's a lot of manifesting. If you want an experience or something to come into your life, the only action that you need to take is to say yes to the opportunity. That's it. You do not have to go seeking that out. If you want another person to change how they treat you, there's nothing to be done out here. You go in, you go within, you change who you are, you change how you perceive that person, what your expectations of them are, how you believe you can be treated by them. And there's nothing more to do. Do not interfere with your interpersonal relationships in that way. Don't go out and meddle in the 3D that way, because people are only interacting with you as a reflection of who you believe yourself to be. And again, that's the reticular activating system at work. Someone could be treating you great, but if you have a really bad self-concept or you don't believe that you deserve to be treated well, then you're either not going to see it or you're not going to respond positively to it. You're going to think something's up. You're going to think it's suspicious. You're going to think you don't like them. You're going to be like pushed away from them. You're going to be like repulsed by it if you don't believe you deserve it. And so whenever you're dealing with other people and interpersonal things, you really just need to address yourself and how you see the world. If you think all men are bad, what do you think kind of relationships with men you're going to have? If you work on addressing the aspects of yourself that are getting the behavior you don't want from other people, then the behaviors will slowly change because you are the one who is changing. So is there an element of 3D action necessary in order to manifest whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in your life? In some cases, yes. Do you want to be a runner? If you're not running, you're not a runner. You can start in your mind and start to affirm the identity, and those behaviors will become desires. So if you don't really like running, but you think being a runner is something that you would like to do, then if you start with the identity, go in, I'm a runner, I love running, I feel so good every time I run, you're going to start to be naturally inspired to go running. But there is 3D action to take, right? When the inspiration comes, if you don't run, then you're not a runner. And so that's what I mean when I say 3D action is sometimes necessary in order to manifest what you want to be, and sometimes it is not. My best advice is to always start with who you are, how you see the world, how you get to interact with the world, and your beliefs about the other people in it. If you start there, then the embodiment of the person that you would rather experience becomes very effortless. If you desire to be a slender girly, if you desire to be a muscle mommy, if you desire to be a thick queen, start with affirming the identity as being easy for you and desirable for you. And then whatever you need to do in the 3D to support that identity, that will begin to naturally manifest itself. You will begin to naturally embody those things. In many cases, there will be action taken in the 3D, and in many cases, there will not. Many things will just show up in your reality, and you have to be able to say yes to them when they come. And in order to see them, you work on your beliefs and your affirmations. And that's it. It's very, very simple. So if you found this video helpful, and I know you did, please interact with it so that YouTube knows it's valuable, and they will continue to send it out to more people so we can take the woo-woo out of manifesting. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.